On January 1, 1994, a group of Native Americans led a rebellion in Mexico's southern state of Chiapas. Calling themselves Zapatistas, the group demanded better economic conditions for rural farmers and improved treatment for indigenous people. The rebels seized several towns but retreated into the forest after Mexican troops arrived. A tense standoff ensued, and attempts to negotiate a settlement failed.
On D-Day, June the 6th, 1944, American, British, and Canadian troops launched the largest seaborne invasion in history. About 152,000 troops on nearly 2,500 ships sailed across the English Channel to 5 beaches in Normandy. Disembarking in choppy seas, they stormed the beaches, supported by about 23,000 airborne troops. This decisive turning point of World War II was commemorated 50 years later by survivors of that day.
Political and religious strife between Protestants and Catholics in Northern Ireland has resulted in frequent riots in its capital city of Belfast. In the early 1970s, civil unrest caused the British government to send troops to the region to maintain order. Frequently, though, the troops themselves became the target of the riots. From 1914 to 1918, Europe was scarred by war. Soldiers fought from muddy trenches. They advanced through no man's land, trading small patches of ground for heavy casualties. They used new deadly inventions: long-range artillery, machine guns, poisonous mustard gas, and armored tanks. Submarines threatened the seas, and airplanes expanded the fighting to the skies.
This is a different kind of war. There are no marching armies or solemn declarations. But this is really war. It is guided by North Vietnam, and it is spurred by Communist China. Its goal is to conquer the South and to extend the Asiatic dominion of communism. And there are great stakes in the balance.
Smart bombs are precision weapons that employ advanced technology, including lasers, television cameras, and other sighting devices. These weapons enable pilots to pinpoint targets on the ground.
There's the bridge.
Ledger 1-1, affirmative.
During the 1991 Persian Gulf War, United States and coalition aircraft used a wide variety of precision bombs and missiles to attack Iraqi forces. Here, a camera on board an American missile records an attack on an Iraqi target. The Spanish Civil War began in 1936 when military generals staged a coup against the democratically elected government of Spain. The coup failed, but it left Spain divided between right-wing nationalists who supported the generals and a coalition of left-wing parties who backed the Republican government. Fierce fighting between the Republicans and nationalists continued until 1939, when the nationalists finally occupied the capital city of Madrid. In the end, casualties mounted to 500,000. Between 250 and 500,000 fled the country, and General Francisco Franco, the nationalists' leader, became dictator of Spain.
The Warsaw Ghetto was formed, and they started putting people from all over. And we were told we're going to move to the Warsaw Ghetto. This was beginning of 1940. The UNRWA told us to put in everything in suitcases. You couldn't take any furniture. You could only take what you could carry. They took us into this post office where the SS was staying. They took everything away, beat the hell out of us, and told us to go. When we came into the Warsaw Ghetto, we saw already people dying in the street. It was not a nice picture, you know. If you put 500,000 people in a ghetto and you don't give them, people that went to work, they took commandos, they called a commando, they took 200 people. They marched them out so at least they got food where they worked on the airfield, building airfields, unloading train loads, you know, with ammunition, all kinds of things. And the people that were in the ghetto, what can you do? Yeah, there's no work. The only rations they gave you, even a child couldn't survive.
A mortar barrage searches out hidden machine gun nest. Keep a sharp lookout for snipers. Turner gives the order to cease fire. Our guns are quiet as they make the climb. We wait for a sign. Suribachi is ours. A toehold on the southern tip of the island.